यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरावनचारि हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोधानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि 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 जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय मोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत एवं ग्रेस ए सी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की Jai. Om Ajnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamayam Tadanti Svapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhavevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to our Sunday Feast program, Zoom online program. What we are going to see or tour today is to a holy dham, wonderful place. It is wonderful because by the name itself, it has its glories, Las Vegas. So I'm not sure how many of you have been to Las Vegas. It is a holy place for one reason because there are devotees who are residing, living there, and doing whatever they can over there in Las Vegas also. So wherever the devotees are present, that place is a holy dham. So this topic is a little different because as many of you would have joined here, thinking what crazy topic is this on a Sunday program by ISKCON speaking about Las Vegas. Some of you may understand what it means. Some of you may be here to check what's going on here. Is everything doing good with ISKCON St. Louis? So irrespective of whatever it is, there cannot be, it cannot be denied that Las Vegas is a holy dham because it's been devotees are residing there. So that's an important point. Now, some details about do I go? Yeah. So beautiful place, very attractive, very colorful, very lively, as you can see here, as very astonishing as well. Tall building, as a busy city, always packed. It's a lively place um, with a lot of activities, as you can see here. I'm not sure how many of you um, been there, but I was there for just for one night um, as a stay over. So it's a busy place, nice place. Um, from our St. Louis, if anyone doesn't know where it is located, here's a map from our temple, 3926 Lindell Boulevard. You can see right here's Las Vegas over here on this other side of the country. Quite a distance. Um, it's a lot of distance. So pretty much 20 to 24 hours if you go by drive on road. So before we get started of our topic, so a small invocation prayer, and then we can get started to travel or tour into Las Vegas. I'm sure you're all excited to go join me or to go to Las Vegas. Krishna Kirtana Ghana Nartana Paro प्रेमामृताम्भो निधि धीरा धीर जन प्रियो प्रियकरो निर्मत्सरो पूजितो श्रीचैतन्य कृपा भरो भुवि भुवो भारारवन्ताहरो वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको नानाशास्त्रविचारणैकनिपुणो सद्धर्म संस्थापको लोकानामितकारिणो त्रिभुवने मान्यो शरण्याकरो राधा कृष्णपदारविन्द भजनानन्देन मत्थालिको वन्दे रूपसनातन रघुजुगो श्रीजीवगोपालको वन्दे रूपसनातन रघुजुगो श्रीजीवगोपालको. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are always engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna and dancing. They are just like the ocean of love of God, and they are popular both with the gentle and with the ruffians, because they are not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they are all pleasing to everyone, and they are fully blessed by Lord Chaitanya. Thus, they are engaged in missionary activities meant to deliver all the conditioned souls in the material universes. They are expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. The absorption is what has been very important in whatever we are trying to do. Therefore, one of the offenses that mostly devotees tend to do is in being inattentive. Inattentive in chanting, inattentive in our uh, dealings with others, inattentive with our mind, inattentive in the way that we do our daily activities, including eating, sleeping, whatever we can think of, everything, there seems to be lack of absorption in whatever we do. Therefore, absorption is a quite important topic as a practicing devotees. Whatever we try to do, we try to be focused on that particular aspect for that minute. Therefore, my request to every one of you, if you have a cell phone, keep it aside. Unless you're watching through cell phone, that's fine. But keep all your other things aside so that you can be absorbed in the message over here. Because one of the things that Ramacharya Prabhu is planning always in the Sunday classes is not just a lecture to come and speak, but rather trying to see some sort of application, what we can take from the lecture. So it should be more of application oriented. So I'm sure you will gain something out of this small attempt of this tour that we are going to go into Las Vegas. So I'm sure you're all ready. So please fasten your seat belt. You're going to go into this ride because this is a quite a ride, quite a ride with interesting casinos that we are going to see. There are some important nice casinos we are going to visit, but we are not going to gamble. but we are going to learn something from these casinos. So let's get started. There you go. These are the Vegas that we are going to do. Las Vegas, the Vegas. There are six Vegas that Rupa Goswami says. So those who are not familiar with this one, in a word that we try to say, communicate, can give a different meaning in another language. So for example, um, my daughter was playing with some soft cushy thing. I was just asking her, "What is this?" And she said, "This is putty." I said, "What is this?" She said, "Putty, putty." So for me, as per Malayalam, there's another in Malayalam language. Patti means dog. Patti means dog. But she was calling this patti, but it was a different thing over here. And then, if you know, in Hindi, there is something called kaka. Kaka. Kaka means uncle and one type of relationship. Whereas if you go and tell to a Tamilian kaka to an uncle, he will get upset. You don't call an uncle kaka in Tamil Nadu. They will get upset. Why? Kaka means crow in Tamil. Hmm? Likewise, most of you must have thought Vegas means meadows. Actual meaning of Las Vegas, the meadows, a green land, but that is in Spanish. So Vegas means urges. So what we are going to see are the urges, six urges, as per Rupa Goswami, which are very important. That's a tour that we are going to go. Sorry if I've disappointed some of you, um, but this is also going to be interesting. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, Shiva vegam, udara pasta vegam, yetan veganyo visahita dhiraha, sarvam apimam prithivim sa sishyat. The sloka, this is the very first sloka in Upadeshamrita, that is called Nectar of Instruction. Nectar of Instruction has 11 slokas. This is the very, very first sloka as an instruction given to the spiritual practitioners. So the translation is a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genital is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So why did we put a topic as Las Vegas? So that somehow or the other, some people might get attracted by the name and they'll start coming and hearing little bit about Krishna Katha. That's the idea. It's not a trick in one sense, it's an attraction to get people's attention. So that's all it is. Now, moving on here. Now we should know, based on what we just saw in the previous sloka, the translation says that Sarvam Apimam Prithivimsa Sishyat. Rupa Goswami says, if you control these urges, six urges, then you will become a qualified, is a qualified to make disciples all over the world. That's what the ends this last line. Sarvam apimam prithivimsa sishyat. All over the world we can make disciples. So that brings up a question: whom does Rupa Goswami addressing the sloka to? So let's see here. Okay, do not leave the Zoom call yet. Stay tight. So this sloka seems to be not applicable for two categories of people. Number one, those who want to make disciples within St. Louis, right? If you're not interested in making disciples in St. Louis or wherever you're living, whichever location, you're not interested in making disciples, doesn't need to have these six urges controlled, because this is for those who are interested in worldwide disciples, right? That's what Rupa Goswami says. Rupa Goswami said, If you want to make disciples worldwide, then you have to control these urges. I'm not interested in making worldwide disciples. I'm only interested to be making disciples wherever I'm living, in the locality around myself, in St. Louis or wherever we are. Then this six urges doesn't apply for me. I can be however we want. I don't need to worry about these six urges. Or those who are not at all interested in making disciples locally or globally. I'm not interested into this guru program, wanting to have disciples. I'm not interested in making disciples. Therefore, for me, these six urges, maybe it's not applicable for me. So Rupa Goswami very clearly says that this sloka of six urges, if you control, then you will be a guru. You can make disciples all over the world. So do not think that this look, I mean, therefore, don't quit the call so soon. Let's wait and see what the next slide says. Let's see the answers here. This sloka is not only for those who are interested to make disciple, or it is that's not what the message is. The message is that anyone who controls these six urges, they'll be respected. They may not be interested in respect, but they will be respected as a acharya, as a guru, as a senior. Hmm? So answer one, if it is a global principle, if this is applied as a globally to the world, then this St. Louis and other places are part of this globe. Therefore, whatever principle is applied on the global level also applies on the local level. Therefore, if you're interested in making disciples in St. Louis, then you better make sure, or we better make sure, that we have control of these six urges. I know no one is interested in making disciples. That's not the idea here. But nevertheless, just for the argument's sake. Number two, what in case I'm not at all interested in making disciples, locally or globally? What about that? Should I still try to control my urges? Answer for that is, it is not only applicable for those who are interested in making disciples. These are meant to be a good disciples. Hmm? To be a guru, first you should be a disciple. Otherwise, one cannot be a guru. Because one cannot become a guru unless one is a good disciple. Therefore, irrespective of one wants to be a guru or one doesn't want to be a guru, but certainly everyone wants to be a good disciple, Sishya. If anyone wants to be a good disciple, then obviously these controlling of these six urges applies, implies. Therefore, this particular sloka is applicable for all spiritual aspirants, not only for specific ones, but for everyone. With that said, here is a map for Las Vegas. So we are going to travel in Las Vegas to different places, six casinos. First one is speech, second one is mind, third one is anger, fourth one is the tongue, and the fifth one is abdomen, belly, and the sixth one is genitals. So we will see how far we can travel in Las Vegas. Given another 45 minutes, we have to include questions also. Therefore, we'll see as much as we can cover, and rest of the tours will be on your way. You can just go through Prabhupada's purports and catch up the tour on yourself if we cannot complete everything here. So, with that said, let's enter into the first casino, speech. Okay, that's our first stop. Now, speech is a means of communicating our thoughts. It's a media or a tool to express our feelings, emotions, convey a message. Everything starts initially from a thinking process, from our thought, and that comes out through the mouth with a sound vibration called speech. So the mouth plays a role as a tool to express those emotions, express those thoughts, express those ideas out to the other party, the other third party or the other person who's standing in front of you or whoever it is. Therefore, speech is an important thing. So, what is that we have to control about? Why is that Rupa Goswami says that vacho vegam, there are there are urges. Let's see about urges. What does this urge means? That which goes beyond our control. Urge, that which always keeps us wanting to do something or pushes us to get to do certain things. That's called urge. Urge of speech is one thing where, because the mouth is there, the sound comes from out of it. Therefore, we can speak however we want, whatever we want, whatever we think. But Rupa Goswami says that you cannot speak whatever you want, however you want. You should have a control of the speech. Control of speech is very, very important, because the whole purpose that we have taken birth is to somehow or the other not accumulate karma and drain all our karmas. There are three things which builds up our karma. One is our thought process, another one is our actions, another one is our um, manasa thought, and then through the body the actions, and through the speech. Right? So those are the things that we have to be very careful about. So speech is one of the reason where we might get caught into karmic reaction. If you're not thinking properly, and if you're not speaking what you think, and our thoughts should be clean, and what we think should be coming out as a speech, and what we speak should be our action. Therefore, thought, speech, and action, everything should be in sync. Otherwise, we are leading um, a duplicit life. We are thinking something, we are speaking something, and we are doing something else. That is not good. Therefore, everything should be in sync, but not like Ravana. Ravana also thought, I will not give Mother Sita. He won't think Mother Sita. Ravana thought, I will not give Sita to Rama. And he spoke, I can never do that. I will not give. See, many people came and gave him good advices, but he spoke that I'm not going to give Sita to back to Rama, and his action was also the same. He was ready to fight with Rama. Therefore, he was also in sync, but that was not dharmic. That was not dharma. Therefore, we should our thought process, our speech, as well as our action should all be in sync in dharma, not adharma. So, in this regards, how to speak. Hmm? How to speak is a topic that we'll spend little few minutes over here. And in Valmiki Ramayana, from Valmiki Ramayana, I'm going to say something here where very beautiful. Rama and Lakshmana were in search of Mother Sita, and they come to Kishkinda. In the mountain, Sugriva sees from a distance, along with his other Vanaras, two human are coming, walking and coming towards their place, the caves. And Sugriva thought that these human looks very powerful. They may be friends of Vali. Maybe Vali is sending them here because he cannot come by himself here. Therefore, he is sending those people to find about us or to fight with us. So he was having the doubt. So he told Hanuman, please go and find out who these two humans are. Find out what their intention are, so we can be prepared. Go, Hanuman. So Hanuman goes, disguise himself, and then he goes as a saint, and he goes in front of Ram and Lakshmana. And then over there he speaks, introduces himself, and he speaks wonderful things asking about them. And first he introduces himself and then asks who they are. Um, Rama heard everything what Hanuman spoke. Now Hanuman is waiting for response from Lord Ram to speak back for his questions, curious questions. And Rama, before responding to Hanuman, he turns around to Lakshmana and he says, Nan Rigveda Vinitasya na Yajurveda Darinaha na Samaveda Vidusaha Sakyam Evam Vibhashitum. He says that no one can speak like how this Vanara spoke, this Hanuman spoke, unless they have completely studied Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda in full. He says this one. Only those such people can speak how Hanuman has spoken. And he says, Nunam Vyakaranam Krishnam Anena Bahuda Shrutam Bahuvyahkarartha Anena Kinchit Apa Sabditam. This is all from Valmiki Ramayana. And Rama says, definitely he has studied Vyakaranam. Vyakaranam is grammar. He knows the grammar. There is no one mistake that we can find from any of his statements. There is no in a punctuation, in the way he pronounces, the way he puts the words together comprehensively. There is no fault in any statement the way that he spoke. For us, when we try to speak even for 1 2 minutes, so many mistakes, grammatical mistake, and sort of it's all messed up, right? So but we are still giving classes. That's a beautiful thing out of mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Now, Rama is saying he certainly is completely studied Vyakarana. Not only that, did you see when he was speaking? Did you see how he was speaking? Namuke netrayo cha api lalate cha bruvah tata anyeshu api cha sarveshu dosah samvidita kvachit. He said, look at his face, look at his eyes. Did you notice Lakshmana when he was speaking? His eyebrows, his body language, his expression, there's no fault in those any of those things. It was so clear right from his face. We can understand he knows the subject. He is very well versed in everything that he is speaking about. So therefore, he says that let's moving on to here. He said these are the points that Rama makes about Hanuman. He says that he's well versed in scriptures, expert in grammar, his facial expression. Because sometimes you sit and listen to some lectures. Sometimes the speaker speaks. His face goes. Sometimes speakers' faces goes in all different direction. Like this, and all different directions. Right. So that's not how Hanuman was speaking, and his body language was so nice. Sometimes body language, sometimes people while they're giving classes, they just do rock like this, like this, like this, and do like this and like this, like this. All sort of different action goes on like this. But a good speaker will not do any of those things. The body language is very important. How they sit, how they the eye contact. It's everything wonderful, amazing. The way that Hanuman was getting introduced and how he was speaking. And as he was speaking, it is very clear he has no doubt in his speech. And another reason he was saying, he was swift in the way he was asking question. He was swift in everything is responding also. And his voice was so melodious, hmm, very melodious and very respectful. He was not elongating. He was not extending the words, and he was not shortening the words. He was not too fast. He was not too slow. His body was still, and his voice was so very clear. It is not like only the speaker hears what he's speaking, or who was sitting next to that speaker he hears. But he was not too loud where people have to close their ears. It was perfect sound, no fear in his speech. And especially he was not talking through his nostril. Sometimes people there are people try, and sometimes people speak, or when the people are singing, they think through the nose, and that is not how one should sing. sound should not come, or and the breath should not come through the nose. It should be very clear the sound is coming from mouth, not through the nose. And he was not rude at all. His pronunciations were so very clear. So these are beautiful points that Rama mentions about Hanuman, how one should speak when they are speaking. And when we go to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vadaha pravatatam aham. This is from the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Vibhuti Yoga. Krishna says that Vadaha pravatatam aham. Vadaha pravatatam aham. Of all types of speech, debates, I am Vadha. So why Krishna says I am Vadaha? That means there is something else, some other types of debates and speech are there. Yes, there are four types has been mentioned: Jalpam, Vidanda, Chalam, and Vadha. There are four types in the conversation that we have with others, right? If the conversation, two parties are picking up on a topic and they are debating or arguing or conversing, and that conversation of arguments can be of four types. The very first type is called Jalpam. Jalpa means it is in a that both the parties are in a competitive mood. They want to win their argument. Somehow or the other, they want to win the argument, and they want to place their viewpoint, establish their viewpoint against the opponent. Because of that, their listening ability will be low. Rather, they'll be preparing for the response to give rather than hearing the points that have been made by the opponent. Because their goal is to win the debate, win the argument, whatever it may be. That's called Jalpam. Whereas, of course, we don't have much time to go into the details of many things here. Let's see the surface of what it is. We are still in the first casino. Vidanda. Vidanda means mode of argument, whereas in this case, one side is unable to establish one's viewpoint, but they try to pick points from others. Whatever they say, this person try to pick faults in that person, whatever they are saying. I am not trying to justify my point here. I'm not trying to prove my argument. Rather, I try to base someone else's argument, try to find faults in that argument, and start talking on that one. I don't have my argument to say, but picking on others' argument. That is called Vidanda Vadam. Vidanda. The next is called Jalpa. Jalpa is the worst one. What is that one? Mode of cheating. Trying to defeat one's opponent by invalid arguments. Hmm. This is like um, party A is speaking, party B is speaking, and party B is telling, but party A, what party A is not told at all, but he is telling, this is what you said. I'm very sure, Prabhu, I'm very sure this is what you said, right? But that poor Prabhu wouldn't have told that at all. But chalam is where you find or you're trying to simply cheat the whole argument by picking up something which is not even being told by the opponent, or trying to change what the opponent said in favor of yourself or ourselves to defeat the others. That is called chalam. Now, Krishna says, Vadaha pravadatam aham. I am none of these things. I am not Jalpa. I am not Vidanda. I am not Chalam, but I am Vadham. What does Vadam means? Vadam, two people can have arguments. They can debate. Arguments mean they can debate on anything, but they have an open-mindedness. The idea of two parties having debates or arguments is not to prove themselves, not to defeat others, but to establish the truth. Establish the truth. Both the parties have a proper goal that we are debating. The purpose of debate is to establish the truth. That is called Vadham. In this Vadham, they are not biased. They are very, very open to accept the opponent's argument because both have only one mode, one goal, that is to establish what is right by debating, by having this conversation, two of us, right? Now, what do we apply over here? So, 2 points: focus on the subject, not the person. That means, say, someone is coming and tell you, Mataji, Prabhuji, that person was telling that you are good for nothing. I'm just throwing something, like that person is telling good for nothing. Right? I heard that you are good for nothing. That's what's been spoken here. The first thing that I'm going to ask to that person who passed the message to me that someone told that I am good for nothing is first question I'm going to ask is who told that? First question anyone will ask is who told that, right? Rather than asking what was the context. Our focus is mostly on the person rather than the subject. Hmm? If the person who spoke is my enemy, whom I don't like, then I do not accept the content or the message that is being shared by that particular person. So we base our agreement on the person, not on the truth, not on the actual content. So we have to shift that thought process. Rather than hearing so many messages, so many people come and tell so many things. Hmm? And we trust on those messages based on whom we are hearing that message from. If I like this person, I completely trust the message that coming from this person is valid. If I don't like this person or I don't have a closeness with this person, whatever the message comes this person, I put it in the reserve. I don't trust it. But rather, we take the message and analyze the message. That's the first thing we do. And then add the other aspects of the persons and the environment and situation and all those things. The second thing is application point is that focus on the common goal, not on the personal agendas. When two people are having some argument, two people arguing argument, there should be a common goal set. Why are we talking these things? You have a difference of opinion, I have a difference of opinion. Difference of opinions is not conflict. We should understand it. It is not conflict. People get confused with conflict and difference of opinions. There could be many people who are having difference of opinion because the five fingers are not same within our body. They are different sizes. Everything is different, but they work together for one purpose: to feed my belly, right? So they all have a same goal, even though they look different. They have the same goal, purpose. Therefore, as we are working together, we can have differences. But what is the goal? Goal should be common. This finger should not have its personal agenda to satisfy itself. Personal agenda. This finger should have its own personal agenda. Hmm? It should be a common agenda as overall how we can work together. So therefore, Krishna says, Vadaha Pravadatam Aham. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says here very clearly, Vacho Veham. Better be careful in what you speak. Hmm? Because as it is said, that you can apply medicine to a wound which is burnt or put by a sharp arrow. You just imagine that you have a wound which is burning. On top of that, there is a sharp arrow comes and pierces on the same wound. How painful it is, right? But that can be cured. But the word that emanates, comes out, cannot be taken back. That cannot be taken back. That's gone. Once it's released from our mouth, it's gone. And now that we have this media, there's no question about how far it has gone. It's already, worldwide, whatever we speak. Therefore, it's quite important that what we speak and how we want to speak, and do we really want to get into the conversation of false information. Sometimes we get into without even knowing subject matters. Even if it is true information, is it our responsibility that we have to go and spread the message out? unless and until you've been assigned to do so. We have been assigned to take the service. Krishna says, go out and speak, tell Bhagavad Gita to others. Likewise, is it important that we go and speak about someone's um, whatever their deficiencies or whatever it is? It is, we have to put it in a blog. We have to spread it out. Is it necessary? Is it going to help that person? Is it going to help me? So we have to be very careful what we really speak. And that's a very first casino. Rupa Goswami says, watch out what you speak. Be careful about it. Okay, we are way behind in our two, which is expected. That is why I said we won't be able to cover all our casinos here, but we will go for another one now. Now, our second stop is Manasam, Manasavegam, urge of the mind. This is a very interesting thing and a wide topic to discuss. And throughout the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, starting from the third chapter and in the sixth chapter, specifically third chapter and sixth chapter, Krishna spends a lot of time on this particular topic on mind. Mind. Because mind plays a major role, very major role, as we all heard several times in from many speakers. Bandhur Atmanai Satasya. That is Atman, over here is mind. Mind can be Bandhu. Hmm? It can be a friend or a Ripur. Atmaiva Ripur Atmanaha. Or it could be an enemy. It can it the only the mind can play a dual role here. It can be a good friend or it could be a worst enemy. It can play both things. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says here, Manasavegam, control the mind. Control the mind. Mind is one of the indriyas and it is chief among the indriyas. There are jnana indriya, there are karma indriyas. 5 and 5, 10. And chief of all these indriyas is one, and that is manasa, mind. In this regards, I would like to narrate a small story detailed out in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 11th canto, 23rd chapter, conversation that happened between Krishna and Uddhava. A conversation. And Krishna is narrating the story to Uddhava over there. In a beautiful place, there was a Brahmana, Avanti. There was a Brahmana. He was having a happy life, but he was missing out whatever he is supposed to do as a Brahmana, but very much entangled into the enjoyment. He even failed to do his Nitya Anusthanam, whatever the daily ritualistic religious activities that he has to do. He did not do Nitya Karma, he didn't even do Naimittika Karma, and he just was enjoying his life. Over the period of that time, he lost everything in the process because the devatas who were not happy with his behavior, they did not supply what he needs to have for his enjoyment. Because he failed to give and do his pujas, the devata did not respond back to him by giving anything. Therefore, he did not have anything. He lost pretty much everything. He lost everything because he didn't have money. No family member respected him. No relative came to him. No, he didn't have any friends. He lost pretty much everyone. Then he came to a realization that money doesn't take you anywhere. Everyone is only working towards money. Everyone is only focused towards money. The relationship is based on money. A love and affection is based on money. Friendship is based on money. The government is depending on citizens' money. The thieves are depending on their customers on their money. So everyone is based on money. Therefore, he understood that he will renounce his everything and take sannyas. So he became a sannyasi. He was wandering all over the places, but he became completely dependent on the supreme absolute truth. He was on the river's side, sitting there, And the people around there, the boys of the village, they come and they speak bad about him. They say you're useless, you don't do any job, you don't go to, you don't find a job. There are so many job opportunities are there. You're not upgrading yourself by doing certification. And the market is so hot now, you can work from home. What are you doing? You're sitting here doing nothing. Nothing. You're useless, guy. And then people used to speak bad about him. When whatever the food that he got, he was ready to eat, some boys will come and urinate on that food. So he was very much insulted in many ways, many ways. Not only that, they will tie him up and beat him off. But for whatever things that he happened for him, he did not react at all for this one. He did not react for this. And the question was asked, how was that? You're not disturbed, O Brahmana. Why are you not disturbed? You're being insulted. People are speaking bad about you. They are backbiting you. On front biting also, there's no terms called front biting. Even in front, they're biting you. In the back, they're biting you. They're doing all sort of nonsensical thing, which is not what you want. You're a nice person. You're being doing whatever you need to do. But how is that you're not being disturbed with anything that is happening here? Then he responds, Vijay Uvacha. Nayam janome sukadukta hetur na devadatma grahakarma kalaha manaparam karanam amananti samsara chakram pravivartayat yat. The Brahmana said, please understand, whoever is talking about me bad, whoever is causing pain to me, actually, they are not the one who's doing these things. They are not the cause of my happiness. They are not the cause of my distress. Well, I see. What are you talking? I see. They are coming and chastising you. These boys are coming and beating you. I can see all this is happening. But you are telling they are not the cause of the happiness or distress or pain that you're going through? What do you mean? Maybe their supernatural power, like devatas, are influencing you. Maybe the devatas are doing, punishing you. They are the cause of it. And the Brahmana said, Devatas are also not cause of my suffering. Is it because of your body condition or because of the Navagrahas? The Grahas are not well settled. Rahu Kala is, Yamakanda is there, and many these things are not well settled. Therefore, you're going through this difficulty in your life, whatever you're going through. Maybe you're this in a 7-year period that you're going through, Shani Graha, where you've been tortured. Is it because of that, Shani? And the Brahmana said, it is not shani or it is not or honey or whatever it is. None of those are cause of, planets are not cause of my suffering. Well, maybe that is your past work, karma. Here comes an interesting point. He said, maybe that is your past karma. Is it karma? Not karma also. Well, it is karma which is what plays in one's life to come happy, or be distressed. It is not karma which is cause of whatever that you're going through. He said, no. Maybe it's the kala, it's time. You have to suffer like this. You feel the pain of it. You have to suffer like this. It's a kala, it's a time. My time is not good now. People say that, we often hear this one. My time is not good, Prabhu. I better be quiet now. I better cut off my services. I better be away from the services. My time is not good. If I speak something, that's problem. If I say something, it's problem. My time is not good, Prabhu. So people say like this. Is that the time which plays? Brahmana says, no, it is not time. So it is not people, it is not the devatas, it is not your own body, it is not the planet, it is not the karma, it is not the time. What is that creates a situation of unhappiness, distress, pressure, depression, sometimes happiness? What is it causing all this thing? And the Brahmana says, Manaparam Karanam Amananti. He said, everything is caused by manas. Everything is caused by simply one factor, entity called mind. Mind is the one which decides and tells, he is my favorite friend, he is my enemy. I love this person, I hate this person. Mind, the same mind will tell later after some time, whomever we liked before, now the same mind says, look, he is not a good person anymore. He is bad guy. He is your enemy now. Put him into that, another bucket, taking from the good one and put him into the bad list. And the bad guys can come into the good list. Who plays all these games? And the Brahmana says, it is manas. Mind alone does everything. Therefore, Krishna and therefore Rupa Goswami says, mind can be your enemy, mind can be your friend. But be careful how this mind plays in life. Therefore, the process of mind in such a way is covered by these three modes. I'm just wrapping up real quick so we can have some questions here. By these three modes, Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. And based on what is prominent at that point of time, that is how we start seeing things, perceiving things, and do things. Therefore, the mind has to be controlled. How do we control an application factor? Is by think more of Atma, more on the Atma Paramatma relationship, rather than thinking on that is a bigger goal, rather than being satisfied with the short enjoyments that mind is directing us to. Therefore, Krishna said that Sanair Sanair Uparamed Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atma Samstustam Samstam Manaha Kritva Na Kanchitapi Chintayet. Gradually, step by step. Overnight, we cannot control the mind. It is not going to happen, right? We all know that one. It is not possible. Even those who feel that they've controlled the mind have a lot of problems. And where do we stand? Nowhere close to them. So there are high chances that we are already always been tricked. But therefore, Krishna says, Sanai, Sanair, step by step, gradually, slowly make friendship with this manas, mind, gradually. Whenever the mind is little bit listening to you, do activities in favor of Krishna consciousness. Chanting, more hearing, more reading, more associating with those people who are inclined towards control of speech, control of mind, control of anger, control of tongue, control of belly, control of genitals. So we have to try to associate with those people who are in that path. It is very important as practicing devotees. We all have friends. That is important. We have everyone, all congregation members, everyone are our friends. But for our own personal growth, we also should have an associate with those people who are practicing more in what they speak. It is very important. Otherwise, we get carried away by just speech. Hmm? Anyone can speak very attractively, anyone can give lectures, anyone can talk. But how is your practical life? How is your family life? How are you setting an example to the society or to your own family members? It's all matters, it's very important. Therefore, we have to associate with those people who are working towards perfection and setting as an example within the family and within outside as well. Then that way we try to control the mind. I'll stop here before we cannot get into the third casino called anger, another nice topic. Um, but I request you all to please read Prabhupada's purport and Prabhupada's purports of you know, powerful bomb to our ego. It just crushes our ego if you read Prabhupada's purports sentence line by line, word by word, very deeply and carefully. Prabhupada just brings out, exposes our egoistic nature in his purports. Therefore, with that said, we will end this tour here, and you all can continue your tour into the other casinos, but don't settle down in those casinos. Not a very good place to be there. But watch the casinos, the activities, that how am I speaking? Do I am I getting affected? How is my mind thinking about situation, about this person? That is another casino. Am I going to get engaged in this game of mind, in the game of speech, in the game of anger, the demands of the tongue and belly and genitals? So these are the casinos we just watch from a distance and learn lessons and avoid, and try to become perfect as a practitioner, sadhaka bhaktas. Let's perfect, work together, helping each other and progress towards our Krishna consciousness. With that said, I'll open up for any discussions, questions, corrections, if any. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful discussion. So anybody has question that they would like to ask, you can just unmute yourself and go ahead and ask.
Do we still have people, or everyone ran away from the tour?
This is very nice, Prabhuji. So you continue remaining in next portion, or
Well, whenever we get another chance, we can continue this one. Not that we will do it next week, but whenever we get another opportunity, we may continue this one.
Thank you, Prabhu. I have the same request. Please continue our virtual tour of this casino. It is really applicable, for us. So for me at least. So,
yes, Prabhuji,
very
because
much.
you are mentioning the problems and you are mentioning how to avoid it, right? That is very important. How to apply to go for good things. So
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Any questions? Not that I know all the answers, but just we can have some discussion. That's all.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Why did like the devatas? Why did they why did they why did they didn't tell to Brahma all the things they did? Why did the devatas um like why did the devatas take everything? Why didn't they tell Brahma?
Why didn't Devatas tell Brahma? Okay. So the Brahmana was not doing his duty of doing whatever the puja he needs to do. Therefore, the Devatas did not give them whatever they have to give. That's all. So they don't go to Brahma and complain, look, this Brahmana has not done this one. So this is a nice thing that we can learn. Sometime when we get into the problems of dissatisfaction with someone, we go to some others like Brahma and others and start complaining. This person is like that and that person is like that. Devata did not do that one. You see this one, right? So the Devatas are not, they are much more matured to deal the situation. So they're very good. That's why it is. Okay, Rukmini?
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Was it Naradi Mataji who was going to ask
Yes,
some?
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu. It's not a question, Prabhu. It's just a comment. Very beautiful class, Prabhu. I mean, I've never heard of like winning or achieving anything from casino, but this casino is very nice and unique. We all got an opportunity to win. So we are really taking home some great messages. So it's a very nice casino.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for
Hare
encouraging.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Mataji. Sorry, I will talk
No,
after.
no, you can go ahead. I'll talk after that.
Okay, I just have very maybe about that Manasa Vegam, the mind. Uh, so it's really challenging sometimes, Prabhuji, to and it's very true that Mansa mind, the urge of mind is something uncontrollable to be in a very practical ground. And mind is driven by the thoughts that we are getting in. So just want to differentiate, like sometimes the thoughts, how we can differentiate different kinds of thought trains that are going around on our mind, and which one we need to cater for, and how we can judge, because sometimes it is really difficult to understand that whether this urge of mind is really beneficial for us and we should follow it, and because we don't know the final result if we follow that thought. So my question is more toward that, if we need to justify our thoughts that this thought is beneficial and this is not, is there a way, a practical way we can achieve that so we can control our mind processing?
So, how do we achieve to know what is the right thought process towards some?
So when we say about mind, it's basically the thoughts that are coming in our mind, which is actually driving us to follow certain route or directions. So it's not, so when we talk about mind doesn't have any physical form that is compelling us to move in some way or the other. It's basically the thought that are coming in our mind, which is actually compelling us to follow something, to do something, and to go in certain direction, not to go in the other direction. So for example, I have my mind says that today we need to attend this class. So there's a thought coming out, there's another important activity supposed to do. So that way we have a different thought that's coming in our mind to follow some other activity, not following the activity which is actually spiritually beneficial for us. So if we need to judge our thoughts that are coming to and fro in our mind, which is actually a driving force driving ourselves in one process or other, how we can judge? Sometimes it is really difficult to judge, to analyze our thoughts, whether these thoughts are coming is basically beneficial for us or it's not beneficial for us, what is good or what is bad for us, kind of thing.
So, okay, so let's take 5 minutes on this question, because this is going to take some deep understanding of an important thing, which is what I skipped in my presentation. So let's see, mind is a mediator between the Atma and the senses. There are 5 indriyas, jnana indriyas, and 5 karma indriyas. Um, and then like this, am I sharing my video? Yeah, okay. So
Yes,
there is a senses, and there is Atma, and in between there is mind. And that's all within our body. And outside our body is the object. That is a sense object. Hmm? That is also an object. That's a sense object. It's called sense object because we can only relate to the object through our senses. Either I acquire a knowledge of that particular object through my eyes by seeing, or by hearing, or by smelling, or by touching, hmm, or by tasting. So these are the way that I can get connected to the external object. Now, please understand. Now, there is a mind. Mind has a thinking process. That's all. It has a thinking. It's a thinking. It's like a processor. Hmm? Based on the information that has been fed to it, it start processing whether to say yes, or whether to say no. That's a thinking process, a binary. It's like a binary, zero or one. That's all it does. Now the data, the information comes to mind initially, triggers the mind to get into the process is buddhi. Okay, so buddhi. that buddhi is nothing but the intelligence. We call it in English as intelligence. And this intelligence is of two parts. One is the intelligence by itself, which is aloof from Atma, and there is intelligence in Atma itself that is called Jnana. Hmm? The Jnana and Atma cannot be separated. Atma is Jnana, but also Atma also has Jnana, that is Buddhi. Therefore, the mind has to be, for the mind to not go towards the different sense objects. As I said, I see a beautiful, some wonderful something, some element, some object, and my eyes is looking at it. So what am I supposed to do? Control my eyes. Hmm? But before controlling my eyes, who's driving the eyes to look into that particular object is my mind. So controlling, I might control my eyes by closing my eyes, but my mind is still active, right? Therefore, even though my eyes are closed, the mind is still driving me towards that particular object to see. Therefore, controlling of senses is one aspect, but the senses has to be controlled by mind. I'm going in a reverse order now. So to answer your question, there is a sense object. Sense object are perceived by the senses, indriyas. So
Right.
the first level of control is the senses, but then the senses has to be controlled by the mind. So mind has to be controlled first. For the mind to be controlled, who is going to control the mind?
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Therefore, someone who is superior to mind has to control the mind, because mind is superior to the senses. The senses are superior to the mind sense object. Therefore, mind is superior to senses and the intelligence is superior to the mind. Now, to the intelligence to be controlling the mind, where does the intelligence get the good information from? Because intelligence not necessarily means always positive. The terrorist also having a higher intelligence how to do criminal activities. Terrorists, are they not intelligent? They are intelligent. Or the cheaters are not intelligent? They are intelligent. The thieves, are they not intelligent? They are intelligent. Therefore, that intelligence is separate from the intelligence or jnana of the Atma. Okay, there are two thin line differences between these two things. Now, for this intelligence to be purified, to be a good intelligence, so that this intelligence can control the mind, and in turn, mind can control the sense object, and the sense object can control the senses can control the sense objects. Therefore, this intelligence that we have, the buddhi, has to be controlled. Who is higher than the buddhi?
Atma, proof myself.
Myself.
Yeah.
So we are thinking we don't have control of intelligence, but it is very simple to understand. I am the Atma, I am the boss, I am the boss. I should be controlling the intelligence in the right direction. Therefore, the intelligence may be covered by this karma. The three places where Krishna says the intelligence or the things are getting covered is buddhi, manasu, and indriya. Therefore, through our atma that we are, we should take an opportunity and effort personally to train the intelligence to get good information as much as possible. Wherever there's a gap we get, we try to engage the intelligence, the buddhi, into the Krishna consciousness. That's why this sloka is so very important. So the speech has to be controlled. As you're speaking, your intelligence gets affected. As your mind intelligence get affected. What you eat, intelligence get affected. Everything matters. Therefore, as Atma, I am the owner of everything. I should try to control the intelligence, in turns controlling the mind. So how do we do this one? Ahara Suddhi. First thing is to Ahara Suddhi. That is on the physical level. And what is the other way to control the intelligence? Because these are all subtle elements. How do we control? That which is subtle, you have to only control these things with an higher medicine. That's all about being in Krishna consciousness by purifying our intelligence through chanting of Hare Krishna. By engaging in this, not that we are not doing this one, but we are doing this for many years, but still seem to be inclined towards kama, krodha, lobha. Or why? Why is because our absorption is very less. This is in response to Ravi Prabhu's question yesterday in the Srimad Bhagavatam class, how to be absorbed, right? Therefore, it is very important. The process is there, but are we absorbed in the process? If you're not absorbed in the process, then things might work out, but it's going to be a gradual move. Saner, saner, gradually moving. Therefore, whatever we try to do, be absorbed in our activities. Does it little bit help, Padmadeshai Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, super clear. Thank you.
So sometimes, Padmadeshai Prabhu, you're going to have your dinner, you eat your dinner, and then Mataji comes and Namita Mataji comes and asks, Ji, how was the sabji? You said, sabji? Did you give me sabji? Well, how did you eat your roti? Oh, yeah. That sabji was very tasty, very nice. Bindi sabji was so very good. But actually, she made aloo or gobi sabji. But you are telling bindi sabji, right? So that is how we are all focusing in what activities we are doing. In all levels, we are not concentrating in what we are doing, which is a cause of many of the problems that we are going through.
Right, Prabhuji. Thank you. It's a nice analogy.
That flow that I told you is much more detailed than what I said, but I think it serves the purpose of your question, though.
Yes, Prabhu. Right.
Anyone else who wants to say anything else?
Prabhuji, small thing. You said like these things, right? Sometimes our mind or like automatically goes to the things, right? Maybe we are thinking we'll do some activities by thinking, but some of the things, most of the things we do automatically without having the knowledge. By realizing we might try to adjust ourselves, but there are things happens. So how to make them control, right?
Yeah, this is a very nice question. So there are three things, right? One is on the thinking process, and another one is the action process, right? So the thought process, we have no control of thought process. Thought is like a uncontrollable waves in the ocean. They just keep non-stop. It keeps coming. Thought keeps coming. It could be a good thought. It could be a bad thought. It's like continuously coming through our thinking process. So we don't literally have a control of those waves that coming to us. Correct? You agreed? Yes. Yes. So we don't have a control of our thoughts, but we do have a control of how do we process the thought. That is in our control. For example, my thought may be saying that go to this person, punch on his face, go and punch on his face. That's a thought if comes into my mind. I cannot stop the thought of coming as a punch on someone's face. But then the thought cannot be controlled, but the action that I'm going to do is under my control. Do I have to really take an action of whatever my mind says, or do I have a control of saying no to my mind? That is under my control. Yes or no?
Yeah.
That is where we need to apply the intelligence. The buddhi comes into the Padmadishai Prabhu's question. Therefore, we have to sharpen our intelligence. We literally have to sharpen our intelligence. And that only happens through the proper association, by having a proper guidance, by practicing Krishna consciousness, by practicing under the proper guidance with someone. So we need a, a mentor, a guru in our life to guide us in a right path. And that guru should have been controlled the urges that Rupa Goswami says here, the 6 urges. Thank you, Shantaji. Is this, are we fasting today, Ekadeshi Mauna Vrat, for some time now? I think looks like there's no more questions. Ramacharya Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. So we can chant Vaishnava Pranams and then we can adjourn. Thank you so much for coming and giving the class today. Dandavats.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to everyone. Vancha kalpa tarobhyascha kripa sindhu bhavevacha patitana bhavani namo namah. Koti Vaishnavandaki Jai Acharya.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Hari Bol.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Hari Bol.